The book head heart framework is a way of categorizing our thinking as we read a text. And typically, this is done with fictional text, but it can also be done with nonfiction text. It also scaffolds our thinking. Um, we want to, as readers, kind of see those layers in the understanding of our text. And Bookhead Heart helps us achieve that by putting those layers in categories and helping us with specific questions to consider the various parts that the author is trying to convey. So let's look at this a little bit. Um, in the book, this is your kind of text evidence stuff. This is exactly what words in the book are saying what. So you're looking at what is the book about? So that gets you to the topic. Knowing the topic is a good source for finding out what the theme is going to be. Who is telling the story? Who's the primary character? And keep in mind, when we were younger readers, this may be one person. As we grow and the stories get more complex and we read more complex texts, we start noticing that there might be multiple characters telling a story. We might see multiple pers- uh, perspectives of a situation. So keep in mind, it may be more than one. And finally, what does the author want me to know? Now, this really targets you towards theme. What does the author want me to know about the topic? What does the author want me to know about the characters? Why are they writing this? Why is it important enough for them to spend the time that it takes to create these stories? So, we look specifically at the words in the text in order to answer these questions. What words are they telling me? And all of our thinking is focused on that text. We are focused at what is between those covers and what is on those pages. So then want to go to the next layer of thinking. This is in your head. These are the things um, that are outside the covers of the text that help build greater understanding and meaning. And so one of the first things we can look at is what surprised me. If something surprises you while you're reading, the author has done that purposely. They want you to pause and think about it. They want you to pause and go, "Oh, I didn't expect that." Now, I'm not talking about like surprise birthday parties. I'm talking about when a character does something unexpected or a group of people act in a way that they don't typically act or they're in contrast to themselves within the text. You got to look for those things. So we're looking for things that are unexpected within the text as well as things that are unexpected when we compare them to the world we know, right? Um, so that's what they're talking about. What surprised me? They're not talking about like surprise birthday parties. What does the author think I already know? The author assumes you have some background knowledge about the topic. They assume that there is some element that drew you into this book because you already had an understanding of it. And so you've got to think about what that is because they're not going to rehash those things for you. They're going to rely on you to pull that information forward and use it in your thinking. Authors don't want you to stay within the covers of their pages. They want your brain to start networking and spiderwebbing outside those covers to things you already know. So think about that. Think about what they're trying to get you to cue forward into your thinking. If there is a social group mentioned, they want you to pull forward what you know about that social group. If there is a relationship that is kind of common, they want you to pull forward what you know about that relationship. They don't want to spend time giving you all of those itty bitty details. They got a lot of story to tell and they've got a lot to take care of and they need your help to pull that stuff forward. So the next questions: what challenge, changed, or confirmed my thinking? I've already been kind of talking about this. If you're looking at this story and at the topic, You want to look at how your thinking about the topic is either challenged, where you're starting to reconsider some of your thinking, how it's changed. What's changed in your thinking about the topic? What new information did they provide, right? And what was confirmed? What did they say? The author said that matched what you already knew, right? So we want to use this opportunity and this networking outside of the cover of the book and think about our background knowledge and how it's challenged, changed, or confirmed. And then finally, what did I notice? What did I notice as I was reading? What stood out to me? What did the author spend time growing as far as an idea so that it is prevalent in the reading? Because I'm going to tell you, if the author spent time with it and took the time to think about how to get that idea across or develop that setting or develop that character, they want you to notice it. They want you to be able to say, "Oh, yeah, I noticed that, and this is why I noticed that." I was just talking to another teacher the other day about this when we were reading the story 11, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, did you notice?" She was like, "Oh, I missed that the first time around. That's super cool." So, in your head, think about it as that spider webbing outside the text, connecting with your background knowledge. And then finally, the next layer, this layer is a more complex layer. It is in your heart. And this is where we're really reaching, we're making that next level connection from going within the text to our background knowledge to truly synthesizing the text and saying, now what? Now that I've read this, now what? And so the now what questions we look at is, what did I learn about me? How did this make me reflect about me as a human being, right? This is an essential part of narrative telling, is that authors want us to consider how this character is similar to us and or different from us and how we feel about that. Okay. And then what did this text help me learn about others, right? If it was if it was giving me an opportunity to study a character who maybe lives in a different culture, a different part of the world, or a different type of family or something, how did it help me learn about other people, right? We want to look at that. We want to get insight into people who may be different than us, right? How do we connect? What similarities do we have with them? What differences do we have with them? All that stuff. And then, how will this help me be better? This is the empathy aspect of reading. How does this reading experience help me be a better person? How does it help me think about myself in relation to others and how I want to act around others, or um, how I want to maybe support others, or just even knowing that maybe one person's struggle is different from my own, that kind of stuff. So this portion is really targeting some of that narrative work that authors do and trying to build empathy for the characters so that you take that out into the world and have empathy for other people. It can happen in nonfiction text, especially biographical text, um, but it's easier to see it in fiction text. So, book, head, heart, this framework is super important to us as readers because it helps scaffold our understanding of the text and helps us build our knowledge about the text. And then it eventually reaches out into the world, and we carry that story with us forever. Um, we just, as readers and as people, this is an opportunity to get to know people in a different way without having to travel the world, right? So Use this framework not only for your analysis, but for your own understanding of the world around you.